It's getting hot in here because you'll be scorching all your enemies, so it's time to light a match and burn down the competition with this epic Solar Lock build. It's Old Man Sim here, back with another Destiny 2 build video. In today's video, I will show you a solar build that'll make you forget about your nerfed Starfire protocol and as perhaps the new solar PvE meta in Destiny 2. Let's get into this. But first, if you want to get lit with your boy Old Man Sim, make sure you swing by my Twitch channel at the link below, where you will see the most Destiny 2 content along with some Legend of Zelda sprinkled in. Come hang out and see what the fuss is about. Also, while you're here, smash that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up like, ding the notification bell so you're notified, and make sure to leave a comment below. I do respond to all comments. Let's get back into the video. Are you sad that your Starfire protocol got nerfed? Don't want to run that Sun Bracers build you keep seeing and hearing about? Check out this build built around the Mantle of Battle Harmony exotic chest piece and Tommy's Matchbook auto rifle, making you a scorch machine. The nice thing about this build is that it isn't tied to any artifact mods or perks, other than the auto rifle anti-barrier perk, meaning this build is built to last. That, and maybe the counter charge perk that gives you armor charge every time you stun a champion, are all you really need from this season 21's artifact. In future seasons with solar artifact mods, this build will only become stronger. So first, here's the exotic auto rifle that you're going to be using in this build. Tommy's Matchbook, with its intrinsic trait, Ignition Trigger, which with sustained fire with this weapon overheats it, increasing damage but burning the user. Plus, the Catalyst, where while Ignition Trigger is active, your health recovers much faster. Add that into the recently updated perk, Heat Sink, that while overheated, sustained fire scorches your target. This, along with the Dawnblade abilities and fragments I'm about to show you, will keep you healed and constantly with the Well of Radiance, causing you to melt everything you see with 72 shots in the clip. And of course, we will be using our Dawnblade Warlock subclass with the super ability of Well of Radiance, which gives you restoration. You regenerate health and shields over time, and it cannot be interrupted by taking damage. You will also become radiant, which means your weapons are enhanced by the power of the Traveler and deal increased damage to combatants. While you're radiant, your weapons pierce the shields of barrier champions and stun them, which means in future seasons when the artifact mod is an anti-barrier auto rifle, this auto rifle will still stun champions for you. Plus, Scorch. The target is singed by destructive solar light, taking damage over time. Scorch damage increases as the target accumulates more Scorch stacks. After enough Scorch stacks are applied to the target, they ignite. Which also, you will be adding further Scorch stacks with this build as well, with not only the Tommy's Matchbook's Heat Sink ability, but with other little things that you'll see in the abilities and fragments we're about to talk about. Also, Ignition, a large solar explosion which deals damage in the area around the target and stuns unstoppable champions. So not only will the Well, of course, give you the anti-barrier, but it will give you the anti-unstoppable as well. Once again, this is why this is a viable build no matter what the season is and no matter what the artifact perks do to stop champions in the game. All right, let's get into the abilities. Of course, we're going to be using Healing Rift, so when you conjure a well of power that continuously heals you, you stand inside, you constantly be healed. So when you're burning down with that Tommy's Matchbook and it starts burning you, it will not burn you. It'll just keep you healed, allowing you to get maximum damage from this build. Your glide, it really doesn't matter. I enjoy using Strafe Glide, but you can use any glide that you want here. Your melee is going to be Celestial Fire, sending out a spiral of 3 explosive solar energy blasts, scorching targets with each hit. I use this because in my opinion, the way it scorches is just better. The way the ability to hit is much better and more accurate. And once again, remember, it's going to apply Scorch. It's going to give you Scorch stacks, which is going to cause ignition to happen along with everything else, your Well of Radiance and everything else, plus your Tommy's Matchbook. It's going to just cause explosions, explosions, explosions everywhere. Then for your grenade, we'll be using Healing Grenade, a grenade that cures allies on impact and creates an orb of benevolent solar light, granting restoration to allies when picked up. This can also be thrown at your own feet, causing you to heal. So if your rift is down, throw that heal grenade down and your Tommy's Matchbook is good to go and still going to burn things down while not killing you. On to your aspects. Of course, you're going to use Icarus Dash. It gives you a lot more mobility. When you're airborne, you can dodge, which helps you get out of some trouble if you end up in any, which the description goes is this: while heat rises is active, you have an additional dodge. While airborne, rapidly defeating targets with your super weapon grants cure to you. So once again, you burn down your Tommy's Matchbook, you're hurting from it, you jump up, you dodge out the way, you get your cure back again. You're going to stay cured even though this weapon ends up burning you to an extent. Also, Touch of Flame. Your healing Solar Firebolt and Fusing Grenades have enhanced functionality, so in this we're worried about the healing grenade. It improves the strength of cure and restoration effects applied. So you're gonna get healed more. The burst of light, the solar light is gonna heal you more. It's overall just gonna make the healing ability better. Let's get into the fragments with this build. First, we're going to use Ember of Ashes, where you apply more Scorch stacks to targets, which we've explained before. The Wells is going to give you Scorch. Your melee is going to give you Scorch. Your Tommy's Matchbook is going to give you Scorch, which means you're just stacking Scorch and Scorch and Scorch, causing everything around you to explode, causing massive kills, and able to do a lot of ad control if that's what you needed at the time. The next fragment we'll be using is the Ember of Singeing. Your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets. Again, scorch, scorch, scorch. You're gonna be scorching everything. Things will be exploding. Then your abilities will be recharging even faster. Up next, Ember of Empyrean. Solar weapons or ability final blows extend the duration of restoration and radiant effects applied to you. So, you're killing things with your Tommy's Matchbook, you're killing things in your well, you're killing things with your melee. You're gonna get more restoration. It's gonna last longer from that grenade. Your anti-barrier weapons will last longer because you're radiant when you're in your well. It just continues the damage over and over again. I cannot stress that enough. And finally, I use Ember of Torches. Powered melee attacks against combatants make you and nearby allies radiant. Again, you'll be using that very easy 3-shot burst of your melee. You'll be hitting your enemies. You'll be scorching them. Plus, it'll make you radiant. It'll make your teammates radiant, which again, like I said before, anti-barrier is built into the radiance. Extra damage is built into the radiance. Then it synergizes really well with Ember of Empyrean. Just overall, these fragments mixed with the Matchbook, mixed with the Dawn Blade, mixed with everything else, just makes this build destructive as all good. Okay, so on to the weapons. Of course, we already have here, we have your Tommy's Matchbook. For this season, I like to use the Scout Rifle because the Scout Rifle has the anti-overload Scout Rifle artifact perk in the artifact this season. We already know that the auto rifle is going to give you anti-barrier. The Radiance will give you anti-barrier. The Scorch stack will give you, when they start exploding and causing ignition, they'll give you anti-unstoppable. And now your Scout Rifle will give you anti-overload, which basically means this build as set up, just with the Tommy's Matchbook alone, will get 2 things eliminated. But with the Scout Rifle, you'll have all 3 champions covered in any activity. On top of that, I like to add in my Adept Unwavering Duty, Heavy Machine Gun, Solar as well. You can use any really solar thing here that you want to. You can use any solar heavy machine gun that you want, rocket launch, whatever you want to build out with it. I prefer the heavy machine gun. We're doing a lot of damage. I can sit in my well and just pew, 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 pew with my heavy machine gun, do extra damage, just cause those ignitions even more, cause more anti-barrier and killing your unstoppables as well. So it's just super OP. That's the loadout I use. You can use any really loadout that you want to along with the Tommy's Matchbook. I do recommend solar weapons. Obviously this, I do have the Strand Rifle, but I mean, to me, this is just a really good setup. You get a little bit of everything. Also, if in the seasonal artifact, if you end up using the Strand Soldier and stuff like that, that gives you unraveling rounds with a Strand weapon, it will give you an extra little bit of damage and whatnot if you ever end up switching to your Scout and need to use it to end the overload. But it's not necessarily needed, but I do like to have something that stops every kind of champion when available. All right, for your stats, of course, you want to try to build into 100 resilience if at all possible at all times. Almost every build you want 100 resilience. It'll just keep you alive longer. You don't have that healing grenade ready. You're out of a rift, you're out of a well. It just makes you survivable. Any build, I'd recommend you have 100 resilience. I also have 100 discipline, and I have about 3 there that shouldn't be there. I need to get rid of. But the 100 discipline will allow you to keep that healing grenade at all times, ready to throw at your feet, ready to throw at your allies. The cooldown's at 45 seconds. The cooldown will be actually even shorter because of the other things that we have going on in this build. You can spec into your melee ability if you want to just a little bit. Your melee cooldown here is going to be 1 minute and 42 seconds. If at 40, you can make it a little bit higher if you want to. You want to take away some mobility. You want to take away some intellect. It will allow you to apply more scorches over and over again, but that's completely up to you. Take away a little recovery, however you want to do it. With saying that, you can build into intellect as well. That way that you build that super a little bit more, a little bit quicker. So maybe you don't want to have a higher recovery, you don't want to have a higher mobility. You'll have that super quicker, but you'll see that your super is actually going to come back a lot quicker than what it says here, 6 minutes and 57 seconds at the 30 mark. But if you get up to that, the 40, 50, it's not a negative thing. Same with the strength. It's like I said before, it's not about getting 40, 50. Your recovery, you're really not going to need it. You're going to constantly be proccing recovery with restoration and cure. And then the mobility with the warlock, I really don't ever worry about mobility anyway. But other than resilience and discipline, you can really spec the perks, the stats into anything that you really want to. Like I said, try to always hit the 100 mark on those two with this build, and you'll be good to go. And as you can see from some of the footage, you're just going to be burning everything down. You're making everything explode. You're just going to get heals. Your well is going to come back super quickly. Your grenade's going to come back quickly. You're just going to be staying healed, throwing scorches, blowing things up. It's just ridiculous. I know y'all are going to say, Sim, these are just regular lost sectors. You're burning anything down anyway. Of course I am. It's just to show y'all the power of this and how just to run through it. You can do this on Legend Lost Sectors, Master Lost Sectors, Grandmaster content. Anything with a solar burn, anything with any kind of burn, actually, just because you'll just be destroying everything. You'll be ripping up champions. You'll be just ripping up the enemy, period. Keeping yourself healed, keeping your teammates healed, keeping a rift down, keeping a well down. It's just super OP. This thing is ridiculous. And I have to say it because I am the king of cringe and I am using my warlock. This girl is really on fire. See what I did there? See what I did there? And this is the armor exotic that's going to bring this build all together. The Warlock exotic chest piece, Mantle of Battle Harmony, with the armor perk Absorption Cells. Takedowns with weapons that have a damage type matching your subclass element grant you super energy. While your super energy is full, you instead gain a temporary bonus to weapon damage of the type matching your subclass element. Hence why I said before, run that solar heavy machine gun, run any solar things that you have, because when you start to kill stuff with that solar weapon, you'll be rebuilding your super quickly. Like I was saying before, even though your intellect isn't that high and it shows a 6-minute build time to your super backup, this will help your super come back super quickly because you're just destroying enemies over and over and over again, constantly causing your super to always be rebuilding at a super high rate. And then if you have your super ready to go and you haven't popped it yet, you don't really think you need to use the well at that time, you gain a weapon damage bonus to all matching your subclass. So your Tommy's Matchbook, you have your Well of Radiance full, you're not ready to pop it, there's not very many enemies left, or you want to save it for that crucial situation, throw it on a rift or whatever you need to do, and boom, you're doing super damage with that Tommy's Matchbook, with that heavy machine gun, with whatever weapon that you're using that is solar. It just causes a massive amount of damage output. I can't recommend this armor piece anymore. It's a great armor piece. It's great for all kinds of builds. I think it's really set off with this Tommy's Matchbook build because you're sitting in your rift, you're healing a lot, you're burning that matchbook down, so you're burning yourself, but you're healing yourself at the same time. You're getting that extra damage from the matchbook going on. You have that extra damage from all the scorch and explosions. Then you're getting extra damage because your super's full, or you're burning stuff down to build your super. It's just ridiculous. Like, it's absolutely OP. All right, let's get into the mods, and we'll start with the helmet. But as always, with any of these builds, with your general armor mods, just use whatever you need to do to get your resilience and your discipline up to 100. Maybe you have some god roll chest pieces, armor pieces, then you won't need to spec that. But spec to whatever you need to make sure you get 100 in each of those. If you have some left over, add some intellect, add some strength, whatever you want to do to keep that going. But the Dawnblade fragments do have some negative stat effects, so I did have to use the resilience mods just to make sure I got my resilience up to 100. So I use Solar Siphon, so rapid solar weapons, final blows, create an orb of power. Orbs of power are great. They're great for you. They're great for your teammates. They create heat. They can create heals. They can create whatever you need from it. They speed up your regeneration of your abilities. And I also use Dynamo, reduces super cooldown when you're using your class ability near your targets. So once again, you're getting those solar kills from the battle harmony, you're moving your super, build up super quickly, but also you'll be using all of your class abilities as well. So boom, you're going to cause your super to end up coming back even quicker. As for your mods and your gloves, I end up using solar loader, so it increases the reload speed of my solar weapons, because I am using mostly solar weapons. You want to reload those as quickly as possible so you can get back to burning down enemies and just causing explosions and killing everything all around. I use grenade kickstart. When your grenade energy is fully depleted, you gain grenade energy. Additionally, your armor charges consumed, you gain additional grenade energy for each stack. So you have stacks of armor charge, your grenade ends up coming back quicker, you can heal yourself quicker. Plus with the other things, you're going to keep that grenade. Remember, it was at like a 30 something 40 something second cooldown already, but this will allow your cooldown to be even quicker, so you're going to constantly keep yourself healed and your teammates healed with that healing grenade. And then here I have the strand loader, just because I'm using that strand scout rifle in the kinetic slot. Here you can really use whatever you want. I mean, I wouldn't use fastball because you're not throwing your healing grenade super far, so I would definitely use a loader here. And since the strand loader, and I am using strands, the strand loader is only causing, you know, one use of charge, then I'm using that. But if it was a solar artifact mod at this point in time, then, or artifact perk at this time, then I would probably use solar there again. But for this, I use strand loader, but you can use really whatever you wanted. Maybe you're not using a strand weapon as your kinetic slot. All right, as for your chest piece armor mods, you can use whatever damage reduction that you want to use. I like using Concussive Dampener. It reduces incoming area of effect damage from combatants, but the one that you should always use with this build is Charged Up. It increases the maximum number of stacks of armor charge you carry by 1, which, if you remember before, when I was talking about the arm pieces, the more armor charge you have, you gain additional grenade energy for each stack. So this way you'll have more armor charge, which causes your grenade to come back quicker, which again causes that healing grenade to constantly be there and ready to go to keep you healed, keep you firing the 𝕃𝕀𝕃𝕃 Matchbook, just to keep you melting and causing ignition. All right, as for your leg armor mods, we are going to use stacks on stacks, which picking up an orb of power grants you an additional armor charge, which, as you saw before, we're creating orbs of power. Armor charges, what they do is they make your healing grenade come back quicker, then you always have the healing grenade. So this will give you more armor charges, therefore you get more healing grenades. I also like to use solar weapon surge, because once again, you'll be, while you have armor charge, it does end up decaying, which kind of sucks, but we'll hope to mitigate that. And another mod coming up, your solar weapons will do more bonus damage. So not only are you getting bonus damage from the ignitions, from the stacks, you're getting bonus damage from sitting there from your Well of Radiance, you're getting bonus damage from the 𝕃𝕋𝕋 Matchbook burning you. You just keep putting on damage on damage on damage. And I have Innervation as well, which we're picking up an orb, reduces grenade cooldown, which therefore, once again, we're building into keeping that healing grenade around to keep us constantly healed, so we can constantly burn down with 𝕃𝕋𝕋 Matchbook. And finally, we have your class item mod, which on this I have the Reaper mod, which after using your class ability, your final weapon blows, spawns an orb of power, you're creating more orbs of power, you're getting more heals, you're getting more grenades, you're getting more ability restoration. I've spoken about it a million times. It speaks for itself. I have Powerful Attraction, which automatically collects any nearby orbs of power when you activate your class ability. You activate your class ability, those orbs come to you, you build those stacks, you re-up on armor charges, you make abilities come back quicker. It's just awesome. Then I added Bomber, which reduces grenade cooldown when you're using your class ability. Again, we're just focusing on keeping that healing grenade almost always up whenever you need it. You're constantly staying healed. You're almost unkillable with this. Now, if you didn't want to use the Reaper, you could always go with Time Dilation. That's what I was talking about before, mitigating the burning up of your armor charge. So you could use Time Dilation. That way your armor charges stay around longer. But in my opinion, you're doing enough damage, you're creating enough orbs, you're getting enough stacks that you really don't need to worry about it, that you'll always have armor charges ready to go. But if you do find your armor charges going away too quickly and you're not getting the effects of the entire build, you can always change over to Time Dilation instead of either the Reaper mod, or you can keep the Reaper mod and just get rid of these two. That is totally up to you what you want to do with that. I like setting it up like this, but at the end of the day, it's how you want to do it. And there you go, guys. That is it. That is your 𝕃𝕋𝕋 Matchbook, Mantle of Battle Harmony, Solar Lock build. That is just going to keep you destroying everything around you, keeping you healed, keeping you healing your teammates, keeping that Well of Radiance down just so you can burn down all enemies, bosses, keep everybody going, keeping everybody standing up, keeping everybody alive. This is just absolutely just a destroyer of enemies. It is just, it runs through everything. It'll make you forget about your Starfire protocol. Yeah, you're not sitting there spamming grenades over and over again, but trust me, when you see the damage output coming from this build, you won't be missing it anymore. Just look at all this footage. Look at everything burning. Look at everything exploding. Just look at everything dying. It's just a smorgasbord of destruction. In my opinion, this build, the changes they made to Tommy's matchbook, the Mantle of Battle Harmony, definitely makes this Solar Lock build meta. Makes it to where you can use it anywhere, anytime, any kind of content. It's just amazing. It's one of my favorite builds to use. It's a whole lot of fun. And this season I've been going for not only OP, but just things that are fun. As always, if you enjoy this video, you want to see more builds, leave a comment below. Tell me what kind of builds you want to see. Let me know what changes you would make to this build to make it better. Tell me, hey Sim, you're crazy. This isn't a great build. Just let me know. I respond to every comment. Hit that thumbs up, like, hit that noti bell, subscribe. Also, like I said earlier in the video, I do stream on Twitch up to 5 days a week. I do a lot of Destiny content. I try to do all kinds of things. PvE, PvP, you name it, I do it. Come by, let's run a raid. Let's have some fun. Let's team up. But I want to thank everybody for watching, and it's your boy Old Man Sim out. I will see you next time. Peace.
Ooh, he just fucking made me do a fuck. That's how I dance in real life, bro. Just like that.